All right, so today we're going to talk about one of the most important aspects of golf, which is, are you able to control your club path? Let's get into it. Hey everybody, what's going on? Scott Oden coming at you. We're at Stony Creek and we've got the Mevo Plus set up. We're going to be talking about club path, one of the most important parts of the golf swing, because you have to know how to control where the golf ball is going, and that's the biggest number that's going to have an impact on that. So before we do that, make sure you click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. We're going to be talking about getting set up for the winter, my favorite devices for the winter, and also how can you prepare your game to have a successful winter practice. So don't miss out on that. Make sure you are a subscriber to the channel. Okay, so let's talk about club path in our golf swing. So when we're looking at club path, the club path is going to be, where are we physically swinging the club in relation to our target? Okay, so our target, that's hopefully going to be the Mevo Plus, where you have it set up. I've actually got mine set up just in this gap in the trees out there in the distance. So have a good setup line when you are working on your club path. That is really, really important. Also, have the device set up correctly with your distances. Your angle of attack has a play on your club path, so you want to make sure things are close or pretty much exact on as much as you can when you are setting up your device to get some good number reads. So when we're looking at club path, why is it important to know how to control and manipulate your club path? Most people, when they come to me, they're saying, hey Scott, just teach me how to hit the ball straight. I don't need to know how to curve it. I don't need how to do this. I don't need how to do that. And what I tell them is, if you want to learn how to hit it straight, you better learn how the curves work, because golf is a game that is played on uneven surfaces. You have differing conditions, you have hazards, you have everything going on out there. And what you're asking me to do is something that a robot can do, but we're not robots. I'm not going to be able to swing the exact same way all the time, nor do I really want to. So you want to understand how the ball curves and what you do to make those things happen, because when you see the ball curving one way or the other and you're not liking it, you can work back the other direction. You can start saying, all right, I got to add more of this in so I can kind of balance out the curve I have. Also, when you're playing and you have trouble, you are going to be able to keep it away from trouble. If there's trouble on the right, I can curve it to the left. If there's trouble on the left, I can curve it to the right. You can do all of these things if you start understanding how to control club path. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things that we can do that are going to affect our club path and what that's going to do to the golf ball. So the first thing is, if we were to just take an alignment rod, and I'm going to get something set up so you have a little bit of a look at where we're going. Okay, so I've got my gap in the trees. That's pretty good right there. And if I hit a shot here, okay, I'm just going to hit one. I've got a 7-iron. We're just going to hit a nice standard one. Okay, pulled it a little, but it's drawing too, but we do have a little bit of wind going from the right to the left. So what you can see is that ball was curving slightly. Now again, partially because of where the club face was. If we pull that number up, let's see, you can see face to target was 3.3 left. That would indicate a pull. So what that would tell me is I do have a little tiny bit of a draw swing where I'm swinging out to the right, but it's pretty neutral. And the fact that it curved more a product of closed face and also the wind that we have going on. So what I would have to do is, when I have wind that's coming out of this direction, right? When I've got wind coming out of this direction, let's say I'm gonna play a shot and I'm like, hey, I don't want it to ride this wind left, okay? I need to be able to curve it back to the right, or I wanna hold it up against the wind. So what we would have to do, or what I would have to do, is get my club path going more to the left, okay? So there's a couple of ways I can do this. One, it can be as simple as I'm going to just aim my body. Now this is kind of the old school way that we used to do things, okay? This was the old school way. When I was growing up, we would play, based on Golf Digest, and what we would do is say, all right, set the face at the target, open up your stance, swing along your body line while you keep the face pointed at that target. And if I do that, okay, See, that ball is curving a little bit. It's fighting the wind. And you can see my club path has shifted there 4.7 to the left. The club face was a little bit right of that, okay? So that actually wasn't too bad. That was a little bit of a fade. So I can do it simply by just adjusting my body and my alignment. Now, there's a couple of issues that came out. Once we started getting into radars, we started realizing, you know, that wasn't necessarily 100% correct. Now, I still think it's something that you can use. I've tried to go back to this thought process. I think it's a very simple way to play the game is, all right, instead of trying to do some crazy things with my swing, as long as I feel like I'm swinging good, I'm just going to hit some shots where, okay, again, face pointed at the target. I'm gonna get along the stick, and I'm gonna swing along the stick and feel that direction of that swing, okay? And again, that one there, 3.8 left, okay? And then what I could do is actually just, let's say I wanted to hit a draw, okay? What I need to do is actually, let's aim it right. And I'm exaggerating these a little bit here, and we're hitting out of the rough as well, so a little bit tough. So again, face stays straight ahead. I'm gonna turn my body. Let's go ahead, let's swing along that stick, okay? And with this wind, that ball is gonna go off the charts, okay? And you can see that club path changes. You can also see the direction of the shot that it's going, okay? The direction that it's going. And again, the wind's going right to left, so I'm riding that wind pretty hard. Now, you can do that, okay? That's a very good way to influence your club path. Now, that is good if your swing is good, right? If you feel like, hey, I can swing it and do what I need to do, I'm hitting it well. Like I said, when I play golf, this is essentially how I'm going to play golf. Now, since the radars have come along, we've adjusted a little bit. We know that you don't want to point the face at your target. You actually want to point the face where you want the ball to start and then curve it off of that. So that's a little adjustment that radars help us figure out. But the other thing then is, if let's say you're not somebody that's swinging it particularly well, right? You're struggling. Well, from here, I want to work on building a swing that's going to help me actually be able to hit both swing directions, both swing paths, right? I want to be able to have my club path go to the right and to the left. Even if I'm going to try to play shots that are one direction, right? If I'm going to play a stock shot, I still need to know what controls what and how to move the ball differently in my swing. You never know, you might need it. You might need to go around a tree, you might need to go up and around something and over something, whatever it is. You need to understand how to move the golf ball a little bit to be able to hit it straight. And so to do that, this is where we get into our body and specifically our upper body, okay? So when I'm swinging the golf club, if I want to swing more out to the right, okay? When I want to swing more out to the right, when I go back, my body's going to pivot and my shoulders are going to get lined up. And they're essentially lined up how I was before with my feet, right? My feet are going out. And when I get back here and I'm lined up, my goal is to control my shoulders so I feel like they're staying as long as they can pointed out to the right. Your shoulders are going to help set your swing direction, your club path, okay? Now, when people do this, okay, and let's go ahead and let's hit one. I'm going to really feel those shoulders stay closed as I go through, okay? That one's pretty good. Let's see what we get. 8.4 to the right, okay? 8.4 to the right. And that ball had a really good sized draw on it, okay? What you're going to see is, as you do this, you know, there's a lot of things that people try to do in their swing that you're going to see like, oh, that's why that stuff happens. Again, I see a lot of people doing things and they just do them randomly. It's like, all right, I have to do this because I saw somebody say to do this or somebody else do this. Again, I want you to think about why you have to do it. What is this move doing to the golf club and how it's going to deliver it to the ball? If there is no purpose, then you do not need to be thinking about it. It's a wasted energy. You can only think about so much, so don't waste it. So one of those things is, I see people a lot are like, all right, hey, I've got to stay bent sideways. I got to stay in my spine angle, right? Well, if I'm going to do that, think about this, right? One of the reasons they say stay in your spine angle is because if I control my shoulders and I'm going to hit the ball and I start thinking about swinging outward, more out towards the golf ball, I have to stay in my spine angle or else I'm not going to hit the golf ball, right? So what you'll see is as I go back and then I go through, you'll notice my body is actually going to start bending sideways, okay? And that's what allows me to deliver the club that way, out to the right, and be able to get to the golf ball before I get to the ground, right? Now, I see a lot of people do that drill, and they're thinking, all right, I gotta stay in my spine angle, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And they get up there, and they go up, and they're like, all right, I'm staying bent over. And it's like, well, yeah, you're doing it, but you're not controlling anything with the club. So it's not really gonna help you as you go through. So that's just one of the big things that I see when we're working through all this is, hey, you have to have a reason with the club of why you're trying to do things. Now, conversely, if I'm gonna try, let's say you're somebody that swings 2 into out. So for a right-handed player, it's to the right. You know, left-handed player would be to the left, okay? If I swing 2 into out, what that means is my shoulders are too closed and I'm probably tilting a little bit too much, okay? I'm tilting back. And so I'm gonna have a hard time getting to the ball first, okay? If I'm doing it too much, I'm gonna have a hard time getting to the ball. But the other thing is, I'm gonna have a hard time making good contact because as I'm swinging and my shoulders start tilting up, what happens is I'm actually gonna have an angle of attack that starts rising. And when I have an iron or a wedge, that's gonna be an issue. So what we really need to do from there is, if you are somebody that has too far out to the inside out version of the swing and you're hitting hooks or blocks, what you need to do is let the club come down, and you really got to feel your body get set and brace yourself so you can open your shoulders with the club. I don't want to just go and spin it open, okay? I don't want to spin it open too much, but I got to get myself braced so when the club's coming down, I can open everything together. And if I do that, okay, very exaggerated one, got a little heavy, 2.1 to the left, you can see. How's that angle of attack when I do that? Should be more down based on the fact that I hit, yep, down 3.7. Caught it a little heavy there, but we're trying to exaggerate that. So that's something I could work on as we go through. Now, me personally, I work more on trying to swing a little in to out. I like to hit draws, so that's what I'm trying to do. But it's nice if I have trouble on the left-hand side, you know, I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna say, all right, hey, I'm gonna get down, and I'm gonna make sure I open that body up just a little bit so I don't pull it left. And that was a much better one as far as contact goes. Again, riding the wind a little bit. And for me, that's a 1 right. That's actually about as far left as I go normally. So something you're gonna wanna work on is trying to figure out how to start shifting your club path around. I always encourage people to hit different club paths and try different things. Most people say, all right, hey, I'm going to just do the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna get muscle memory. First things first, muscle memory doesn't exist, okay? Your muscles do not have a memory, okay? They can get elastic for a second, and then they kind of remember, you know, they'll just move the same way because you kind of molded them there, but they will go back shortly after you stop to doing whatever they always do. So what we need to do is experiment. Get up here, I'm gonna hit a couple shots. I just hit a couple where I really opened up. Now let's go the other way. What happens if I really keep the shoulders closed? Okay, ball's curving. You can see that when I really exaggerated keeping them closed, it's hard even there to hit the ball. So I'd probably want somewhere in the middle. Let's do it again. Okay. And now that I've done one way to the right, I feel that opening up. Okay. What I'm going to do is try to go split the difference. I don't want to be either. I want to be right down the middle if I can. Okay, let's see what my club path is. Again, riding the wind a little, but to right. I will take that. For me, that's a draw shape. That's what I like to play. So you start by understanding how to control your paths. Get out, get with your device, hit shots, and hit different numbers. Don't try to hit perfect numbers, hit different numbers. And then from there, find your balance, going in between them, and you're going to find that, hey, I have much better control of what the golf ball's doing. Don't worry if you hit bad ones. You see me doing it as we're experimenting, hitting bad shots. That's okay. I'm not going to necessarily play those shots when we go out there. I might if I get into a really weird situation. But the idea is I'm trying to learn what does what, and then I can balance it out to get what I like. That's our goal as we go through this. So that's working on our club path. Really, really important to understand how to manipulate that. It helps you in a variety of situations, helps you understand how to stay out of trouble, help you get out of trouble, and also just help keep the ball doing what you want it to do. And also, you're gonna have those days where it's not quite working 100%, so you need to be able to make adjustments and understand what the adjustment is on the fly. So hopefully this will help you do that so you can shoot lower scores, play better golf. All right, if you have questions about it, please comment down below. And as always, click that subscribe button. We got more coming up. Again, getting you ready for the winter, getting everything going, so you don't want to miss out on that as we help you get better at golf. All right, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.